Welcome to the COMC High School Football Coaches Show, presented by the great folks at Central Ozarks Medical Center, where your health is their mission. Also brought to you by Serdike Yamaha, MoDOT, Buckle Up, Phones Down, Hedges Scott, Millard Funeral Homes, and Slumberland Furniture, Slumberland at the Lake. We're here at Osage, homecoming week. The Indians 5-1 against another 5-1 team from Boonville. But let's talk about last week first. You improved to 5-1 after a big win at Hallsville, 52-16. That was a dominant win on the road.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna go around that one. I mean, it was a big win for us, and we got off the bus prepared. I think our kids were focused. We had a good week last week, and those are the ones you want as a coach. And I thought Hallsville was an excellent football team, and we just kind of got out on them early. And did what I wanted to do, was have a fast start, and our coaches put together a great game plan, so it was a good night.
Yes, it was. Anytime you win against a good team, 52-16, you got to be happy. So I went and crunched some of your numbers. So your offense is averaging 33 points a game. What are you liking about the offense right now?
Well, I just think I like their growth, and you can slowly see our offensive line play getting better. Those guys are having a little bit more ownership, and each week there's fewer and fewer mental mistakes down there with that group, and really that's what's going to make us competitive in week 10 is how well those guys come together. But obviously we didn't have any turnovers on Friday night, which is a really big deal.
That's huge, the turnover thing. And what areas of growth would you like to see leading up to week 10 when the playoffs get underway?
Well, really it goes down into our passing game. I mean, we've got to be more accurate on our delivery, and the passes that are on target, we got to catch. If you go back and look at our passing game, we've had guys open, but just a few breakdowns. And I know Coach Baumstark and Coach Brooks and those guys have worked, tirelessly during the summer, and we've thrown a bunch of balls, and we've done some good stuff. And I think schematically we're right where we need to be. It's just kind of making those plays, and that's going to be the emphasis this week.
Is there a lot of timing in the passing game? Are they timing routes, or are they read routes, or is it a little combination?
It's a little bit of both, but we don't, there's timing involved in everything, so it's seeing them. But really in our situation is finding the guys that are open and putting it on them. Mm-hmm. And Maverick's done a real good job of continuing to work. It's not from a lack of effort. I'll say that from any point. So I don't want it to sound like that. It's just getting it done. At some point, it's like we've got to get the catches. And we probably had 2 touchdowns that were either misplaced balls or drops on Friday that I'm confident that our coaches and our players will get squared away in the next couple of weeks, and that's going to really balance things out for us.
It's pretty exciting to have that upside, though. I mean, when you know you can get better. On defense, you're giving up 15 points a game, and if you take out that Blair Oaks game, you're only giving up 10 points a game. So what are you liking about the defense right now?
Well, I mean, I think it's due that I give credit, like Coach Hess and Coach Evans and Coach Hembrock and Coach Austin, and those guys are grinders. And what I'm saying is, like, they're the guys on the weekend that are spending the most time, and we have put together a group of defensive guys that I'm super proud of, and I just trust those guys. That's not something I dabble in. Like I said, they get to work late Friday night and then come in Saturday morning and do their thing. And I think the thing that makes them most successful as a staff on the defense side is they communicate really well. And there's not one of them that's afraid to spend a little extra time after practice or on an off day to make sure that their position group is prepared. So, and then depth is coming too on that side. So, and kids are excited about playing defense. And Coach Hess was a great addition to our staff last year, and he continues to grow.
Yeah, and what's the next step in their growth?
Well, I think we've talked, it's maintaining, continuing to develop depth on the defensive side where you can rotate a little bit, but at the same time, I think we talked early, even when we hired him, about creating turnovers. And now that we're in the right spot and we're super physical, now it's time to start, punching that ball out or creating some forced turnovers.
Absolutely. Okay, so it is homecoming week, a game you can see right here on Lake TV this week as 5-1 Boonville comes to town. Going to be a good game. We'll talk more about that when we come back on the COMC High School Football Coaches Show.
During this chapter of life, we are really taking the time to enjoy the little things.
So it was important to have our final wishes pre-planned so our family wouldn't be burdened later on.
Hedges Scott Millard made it simple, but thorough. They provided us with different options right here in the comfort of our home.
We are so glad that we planned ahead. Now a whole lot more of this, a little of this, all with the peace of mind we wanted.
At Hedges Scott Millard, we believe that every day is a gift. and so is every life. Take time to enjoy it.
At COMC, your health is our mission. Central Ozarks Medical Center offers pediatrics at 2 lake locations and 3 OBGYNs at the Osage Beach Clinic, offering same-day appointments. At COMC, our doors are open to everyone, whether you live at the lake or just here visiting. COMC for the best medical, dental, and behavioral health care. Get more info on how COMC can help you at centralozarks.org. COMC, where your health is our mission. Welcome back to the COMC High School Football Coaches Show. Our Friday night game this week is Osage at home to Boonville. Both teams 5-1, and it's homecoming for you guys. This Boonville team, pretty good, just like you guys. Their only loss this year to Blair Oaks.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's a great matchup. I think Boonville's a quality opponent. They've got some really talented players. I mean, I think there's some guys being recruited, especially some of their big guys. I know they've got a lot of size up front, so we're looking for them as maybe outside of Blair Oaks being the best team that we faced so far this year.
Yeah, right. You have beaten them 2 years in a row. Boonville's got a good traditional program, so that's saying something when you're looking to make it 3 in a row this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's each year is always different. I mean, you can go from year to year and see how much teams grow or decline, but we know that they're going to come in here on homecoming and expect to, spoil, our festivities. And it's just a team that we're going to have to play our best football against. But if we're moving into week 10 or towards week 10, we better get ready because we've got Southern Boone and Borgia coming in behind them.
Yeah, things do not get easier as you close out the regular season. As you mentioned, homecoming week, a lot of festivities and stuff around. You got a parade, you got this and that. And does that take away? Does that distract players from the game, or is it just add to the fun?
I mean, I think it just depends. I mean, our kids are pretty dialed in at this point. We want them to have fun, and we want the student body to be connected, and we want the community to be connected. So can it be a distraction? Yes. But would I take it away? Absolutely not. I mean, we'll have guys come to the game that haven't been back, and they marked this on their calendar. So I think homecoming is really, it'd be hard for somebody to say it's not a good thing. So we're excited about it. I mean, there's a couple of festivities that I could probably do without, but and having my wife out of town this week adds a little bit with 3 daughters, but we're figuring it out and making it work.
Absolutely. And I remember a couple years ago when you just came back, and it was homecoming, and you had so many of your former players that came back. It was such a special thing. Do you still get some of your old players that come back that you haven't seen for a while?
Yeah, and I've got a unique situation, man. I'm really blessed as far as I talk to a lot of those guys. Like, you'd be surprised on a weekly basis how many of those guys that I still have contact with. But yeah, and they're always welcome. We had a couple guys come to the first week game and came up and spent the night and hung out a little bit that I hadn't seen for years. And so, those relationships, when you talk about it, as Coach Saban has so, prophetically put it out this week about being transformational, it's just about the ability to hopefully connect with your players and understand it goes past football. But that's not just me, that's our whole staff.
Yeah.
That's probably our greatest strength is those guys building relationships, so we're super proud of that.
No doubt. And it's kind of cool for you. I mean, you've got 3 daughters in real life, but you got a whole bunch of these sons from over the years that played football for you.
No, it's all good. Like I said, that's been a huge blessing for me and my family.
All right, so Friday night, be sure to join us right here on Lake TV as Osage at 5-1 takes on 5-1 Boonville. It is homecoming game for the Indians. Coming up next, we're going to travel over to Camdenton, talk with Lakers coach Par Pitts, and they've got a big home game coming up too, so don't go anywhere.
Hey everybody, it's Daryl Cunningham with Slumberland Furniture at the Lake. We're in the middle of our fall home sale, and what's that mean for you? Great discounts for every room of your house. We've got up to 50% off of list pricing. And we're going to give you interest-free financing for up to 24 months if you choose. Don't forget, we deliver the entire lake area. Come check us out, Slumberland Furniture, where we're bringing happy home.
Do we ever get tired of great local football? Heck no, and it just keeps getting better and better. This week it's homecoming game at Osage against conference rival Boonville. The Indians and Pirates with some homecoming kings and queens thrown in. It all starts with a COMC pregame show at 6:30, kickoff at 7, presented by Pauly Lift Boat Lifts. Will it be the Indians or Pirates? Join William Holtz and Mike Bissell Friday night to find out on Lake TV.
Being close to the water makes you more you. It's where the great unknown brings clarity. And letting go is how you really get going. Because only when you're on a Yamaha Wave Runner do you truly discover what you're made of.
Visit Surdyke Yamaha at Lake of the Ozarks, 50 years strong.
Welcome back to the COMC High School Football Coaches Show. We're over here at Camdenton, home of the Lakers. It is Coach Parpitz with us here. And Coach, you guys come off a tough loss Friday night on the road against one of the better teams in the state. Seems like we say that every week. You're playing one of the best teams in the state this week, but that Rockbridge team is one of the best teams, and a great game. You almost pull off a great comeback win.
Yeah, they're definitely a talented, well-coached, playing real well at this time. And, we kind of matched them, blow for blow through most of the game. Just a few breaks here or there, or maybe better execution on our part would have made a difference, and we come away with a victory. But, we can build on some positive things, definitely.
Yeah, no doubt. So I was going back and adding up the records. So you've got 3 losses right now against 3 of the best teams in the state. Those 3 teams are a combined 16-2 on the season, just to give you an idea of how good those teams are. And you were in those games, had chances to win those games. So it's kind of hard to, when you're a football coach, look for the moral victory, but there are some positives there.
Definitely some positives. Each one of those games we've learned, and we've kind of figured out what we do really well, or maybe what we don't do well, and have been able to make the adjustments. And hopefully that you're either winning or you're learning. And so we had those opportunities, and hopefully we can build off of the Rockbridge game and continue to grow and be better as we go through the next Friday.
Yeah, and I was telling you earlier that even though you lost that game Friday night, I gained so much respect for the Lakers because of how well you did play against a really tough opponent. You guys seem to be getting better every week. Is that kind of what you're seeing?
Yeah, that is our goal. We want to be peaking at the right time as we get through, and a lot of things have to happen. You have to continue to focus. You can't become complacent. You got to stay healthy. All those things. But yeah, our guys are committed to getting better each week, and hopefully that'll show.
We're seeing this growth every week, and what are the things that you're most proud of in the way this team is progressing so far?
I feel like every week we're playing for each other longer and harder, playing for each other. That's an important part. Technically our run game was much better this past Friday, and that definitely, the last 2 weeks we've been better in the run game, and that's a testament to our guys up front, and then those guys carrying the football. And then our defense overall has gotten so much better over the last 4 weeks, I would say. So those are our areas of growth, but it really boils down to that playing for each other as opposed to just be on an island and thinking about me or myself.
Yeah, it makes a difference, doesn't it? When you have, even if you've got extraordinarily gifted players, if they're not playing for the team, then it's not going to work out well.
Yeah, you got to play for something bigger than yourself. That's one of our standards, and so that's part of it. Playing for the Lakers and playing for those guys that are sweating beside you. That's important.
Yeah, you're in a tough district. So the Lakers currently 3rd in the district standings, and this is a pretty strong district. You got Helias and Cap City in 1 and 2. Lakers sitting in 3, and right behind you, Rolla, Jeff City, Lebanon, and Smith Cotton. And we've still got 3 weeks to play out, and that may change here or there. But if the playoffs were to start this week, you would play Jeff City in the first round, the team you beat to start off the season.
Well, I hadn't even seen that. I knew that we were in that alignment kind of, but I didn't know where the bottom half was. But so yeah, They're a good team. They're improving. They've grown a ton since we saw them week 1. And so, we feel like as we go through the season, if we can be successful and continue to grow, we'll be ready to go.
Absolutely. And the Lakers back home this Friday night. Going to be a very good game, another conference game against Hickman. We'll talk about that when we come back on the COMC High School Football Coaches Show.
Hi, honey. It's your mom. I know you're probably working, but I just saw on the news that 3 people die in car crashes every day in Missouri. I just think about you driving around and it makes me so worried. So buckle your seatbelt, don't look at your phone, and don't speed. And I know you know this, but please always drive sober. You're a good kid, just be safe, okay? Mom loves you. Okay, bye.
At COMC, your health is our mission. Central Ozarks Medical Center offers pediatrics at 2 lake locations and 3 OBGYNs at the Osage Beach Clinic, offering same-day appointments. At COMC, our doors are open to everyone, whether you live at the lake or just here visiting. COMC for the best medical, dental, and behavioral health care. Get more info on how COMC can help you at centralozarks.org. COMC, where your health is our mission. Welcome back to the COMC High School Football Coaches Show. We're here at Camdenton on the practice field. Beautiful practice field, Coach. I mean, this is gorgeous.
We're blessed for sure.
Indeed. Okay, so you've been on the road the last 2 weeks. 2 weeks in a row you went up to Columbia. And this week you get to be back at home, which is nice. Gonna love that. Another tough conference game against Hickman. And this Hickman team started out 0-3, but they've won their last 3 games.
They have. They're coming on. They've got a ton of talent. They are sort of settling into that idea of what they do the best, and they're taking advantage of that. They can throw the ball. They've got an outstanding receiver that is a super hard matchup. He's got to be 6'5". 240 pounds. He's a load, and so their run game is coming along, and defensively they've been able to clamp down on the last 3 opponents really, really well. So we know they're going to be prepared in that aspect. We saw them in the Jamboree, so a long time ago. They've changed a bunch.
Yeah, indeed, and have grown quite a bit, as that 3-game winning streak would indicate, and they're coached well. I mean, we remind people that before you came to Camdenton, you took team to state championship game. So has the Hickman coach. In fact, he has won a state championship game. So he's a pretty good coach. Yeah,
Coach Connors does a great job of developing his program and getting his guys to go out there and play hard and play for each other. And so, that's the testament to their growth is his leadership.
Yeah, and had a good run, I think, at Hallsville before he went to Hickman there. So what do they do on offense that your defense is going to need to be ready for Friday night?
Well, they like to get the ball in the quarterback's hands, and they run some option, they run some zone read, and then they'll throw it. And they've got about 2 or 3 receivers that are really a tough matchup. And so we've got to be able to be balanced, because they're not just a one-dimensional team. So we got to be prepared for that. Defensively, they'll bring a lot of pressure, and they'll be able to play man and match up with us and try to make us be in a situation where we've got to beat man coverage.
Yeah, and your offense has been really good. I mean, last week, last team where the ball's going to win kind of a thing, and your offense has been getting that good, at least last week. They looked great. What are you going to have to do against Hickman?
I think we're going to have to be balanced, much like the previous 2 weeks, where we can run the ball effectively enough to get first downs, and then find the matchups we need to in the passing game and take advantage of those. But ball control, taking care of the football with eliminating turnovers and trying to stretch the field a little bit like what we did last week.
So you've coached for a long time. As we said, you've taken a team to the state championship game. This year's team, getting better and better and better. Obviously, it's easy to see. Do you feel good about going into Week 10 with this team?
Yeah, I think that we're committed towards that and trying to be playing our best football, at the end of October, beginning of November, and then getting hot and letting that carry you through as far as you can get. And in our situation now, everybody's a guaranteed spot in the playoffs, and so you just got to be at your best and playing with a lot of confidence at that time.
I love Missouri football for that reason, that everybody gets into the playoffs. You got a shot.
Yeah.
You get hot at the right time, you can make things happen.
Yep.
So there you go, Coach Parpitz. Camdenton Lakers at home against Hickman Friday night. Good luck Friday night, Coach.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for joining us for the COMC High School Football Coaches Show, also brought to you by Serdike Yamaha, MoDOT, Buckle Up, Phones Down, Hedges Scott, Millard Funeral Homes, and Slumberland Furniture.
You're watching Lake TV.